How many days have you spent stuck in the same routine, telling yourself tomorrow will be different? How often do you let hesitation, fear, or comfort dictate your actions? Let me be clear. Inaction is the enemy of progress. Today, we're diving into 10 Stoic rules designed to force you into action every single day. If you're ready to stop procrastinating and start seizing life by the reins, stay with me. Rule 1. Embrace the dichotomy of control. Most people waste an incredible amount of energy worrying about things they can't control, how others perceive them, the outcomes of their actions, even the weather. This rule demands a shift in mindset. You must focus exclusively on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your responses. This forces clarity and action because you're no longer paralyzed by external factors. Let me take you back to a time when I was consumed by the need for approval. At work, I'd stay late, obsess over every email, and replay conversations in my head, wondering if I said the right thing. I was exhausted and anxious. Then, I discovered the Stoic teaching of the dichotomy of control. I realized I could control my effort and my attitude, but not how others perceived me. The day I embraced this rule was the day I stopped seeking external validation. I began to act with confidence, focusing on what I could do. And guess what? The results spoke for themselves. My productivity soared, my stress levels dropped, and I gained respect. Not because I was trying to please everyone, but because I was focused and effective. Ask yourself, how much energy are you wasting on things you can't control? Rule 2. Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. This isn't meant to be morbid. It's meant to be liberating. When you internalize the fact that your time is limited, procrastination and hesitation become luxuries you can't afford. Every moment becomes precious, every decision vital. A few years ago, I lost a close friend suddenly. One day we were making plans for the future. The next, he was gone. It shook me to my core. It was a brutal reminder that life is fragile, unpredictable, and short. I remember sitting in silence, thinking about all the times I'd put things off. Dreams deferred, risks avoided, words left unsaid. That experience changed me. I stopped waiting for the perfect time to act because I realized that time might never come. Every morning, I ask myself, if today were my last, would I be proud of how I lived it? Now I challenge you. If you truly understood how limited your time is, what would you do differently? Rule 3. Take ownership of your decisions. Life is full of excuses. I don't have time. It's not the right moment. Someone else will fix it. But these are just barriers to action. To truly take charge of your life, you must own every decision you make or don't make. The power is in your hands. There was a time when I blamed everyone for my lack of progress. My boss was too demanding, the industry was too competitive, my background wasn't ideal. Then I had a conversation with a mentor that changed everything. He looked me in the eye and said, "You're right. All those things are against you. But here's the question, what are you going to do about it?" It hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized I was using external factors as a crutch. From that moment on, I started owning my choices. If I failed, it was on me. If I succeeded, it was on me too. And you know what? That responsibility was empowering. What excuses are holding you back right now? Rule 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing your limits. Stoics actively seek out discomfort to build resilience and sharpen their willpower. Whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, discomfort is a powerful teacher. A few years ago, I decided to train for a marathon. At the time, I wasn't a runner. In fact, I hated running. But I wanted to prove to myself that I could do something difficult. Those early morning runs were pure agony. My legs burned, my lungs screamed, and my mind kept begging me to quit. But I kept going. Each step, each mile was a small victory over my weaker self. By the time I crossed that finish line, I wasn't just a better runner. I was a stronger, more disciplined person. Voluntary discomfort taught me that I could endure far more than I thought. When was the last time you willingly stepped out of your comfort zone? Rule 5. Act as if this is your last opportunity. Life rarely gives second chances. The opportunities in front of you today might not be there tomorrow. Treat each task, each moment, as if it's your last shot. This mindset eliminates procrastination and fuels decisive action. There was a time when I was offered a promotion at work. It was a huge step up, but it came with a catch. I had to prove my value within 30 days. My initial reaction was fear. What if I failed? What if I wasn't good enough? But then I asked myself, what if this is my only shot? That question changed everything. I poured every ounce of energy into that month. Late nights, early mornings, relentless focus, and guess what? I nailed it. That promotion wasn't just a career milestone. It was a lesson in seizing the moment. What opportunity are you hesitating to grab right now? Rule 6. Focus on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism is the enemy of action. It convinces you that if you can't do something flawlessly, it's not worth doing. But here's the truth. Progress is what drives success, not perfection. When I started my first project, I was paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. I spent weeks tweaking and overanalyzing, but nothing ever felt good enough. Finally, I realized that perfection was holding me back. So, I launched the project, flaws and all. The response? People appreciated the effort, not the perfection. And as I kept working, I improved. Progress led to growth, and growth led to success. Are you letting the fear of imperfection stop you from moving forward? Rule 7. Silence the inner critic. Your mind can be your harshest critic. It whispers doubts and insecurities, convincing you that you're not ready, not capable, not enough. But that voice is a liar. There was a time I wanted to pursue public speaking, but my inner critic kept saying, "Who would want to listen to you?" I almost let that voice win. But then I decided to confront it. I started small, speaking at local events, gradually building confidence. Each time, the critic's voice grew quieter. Now I stand on stages with confidence. That critic still exists, but it no longer controls me. What lies is your inner critic telling you? And how much longer will you let it stop you? Rule 8. Lead with purpose, not approval. One of the greatest traps is seeking validation from others. Intelligent action stems from a clear sense of purpose, not from the need to be liked or approved. When you lead with purpose, your focus sharpens and you become unstoppable. There was a time in my career when I tried to please everyone, my boss, my colleagues, even clients who were impossible to satisfy. I was running in circles, losing sight of why I started this journey in the first place. Then, during a performance review, my supervisor said, "We don't need a people pleaser, we need a leader." It stung, but it woke me up. I went back to the drawing board and reconnected with my purpose, delivering impactful results. From that moment, I stopped chasing approval and focused on making meaningful contributions. My work began to speak for itself, and ironically, the approval I once sought came naturally. Whose approval are you chasing? And how is it holding you back? Rule 9. Cultivate inner resilience. Life will test you. There's no escaping that. But resilience, the ability to recover quickly from adversity, is what separates those who thrive from those who falter. Resilience isn't just enduring hardship, it's growing stronger because of it. I'll never forget the time I faced one of the biggest setbacks of my life. A business venture I'd poured my heart and soul into crumbled overnight. The failure was devastating. I felt like the ground had been pulled from under me. For weeks, I was lost in self-doubt. But one day I realized something. I had two choices: stay down or rise up. I began to rebuild piece by piece. I sought lessons from the failure, identified where I went wrong, and vowed to come back stronger. And I did. That failure, painful as it was, became the foundation for my greatest success. How do you respond when life knocks you down? we have more interesting videos about Stoicism and the way of life. If you want to watch a video about 9 things an intelligent people never say, please click link above in the video. If you like the video or you don't want to miss further videos about Stoicism, please subscribe. We will upload 1 video per week on Thursday. Rule 10. Take decisive action. The biggest enemy of progress is inertia. We often wait for the right time or perfect conditions, but action creates momentum. Even the smallest steps can lead to monumental change. There was a period when I was stuck in analysis paralysis. I had big dreams but kept waiting for the stars to align. Then one day, I had a conversation with a friend who said, "You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step." That simple truth hit me hard. I started small, sending 1 email, making 1 phone call, writing 1 paragraph. Those tiny actions compounded over time, and before I knew it, I was miles ahead of where I started. The momentum was unstoppable. What small action can you take today to move closer to your goal? Action is the cornerstone of achievement, and these rules compel you to take decisive steps every day. From focusing on what you can control to silencing your inner critic, each rule is a tool to combat procrastination and hesitation. Are you living each day with purpose and urgency? If not, start today. Because your future depends on the actions you take now. Till the next time, stay strong and live wisely.